Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and Klein's just been knocking it out of the park lately. I don't know who put a bee in their bonnet, but this seems like Klein 2.0. Almost every week they come out with new, innovative, useful, high-quality, affordable tools that are really going to set the standard. And I'm going to start out talking about this Klein Precision Driver set here, but I've got more that I'll cover in future videos, and every one of them, it's like, wow, this is great. Now, this is a precision driver set, and you know that I love these things. And what's different about it? Why is it great? Well, let's start out with the box, first of all. This is a Klein MODBOX. MODBOX is the kind of the storage and transport system Klein has. You know, we're loosely calling pack out as kind of the Kleenex of these boxes, but this is a small one. Now, I've played around with small Klein boxes. I use them for all kinds of things. This one I modified to fit 2 sets of drill bits instead of just one. This one I cut the guts out of, and I use it a Road Warrior box to carry some computer parts. I've got all kinds of bags. You know, Klein, I was just realizing, like with this light here, Klein goes with me all over the place, especially overlanding. I mean, I use Klein speakers, Klein lights, Klein fan, you know, of course, Klein tools, Klein knives. Anyway, get back to this guy. So we've got a box here. Now, Klein has been working with plastic boxes for quite a while. I've had this one forever, but it was kind of a one-off. This one is designed to fit in a kind of a mod box arrangement, snapping to something else. So how do you do it? Just hook the front end here. There, it's on. And I've got 3 different sizes of boxes here, all snapped together in a different order. To get it off, just pop the little release there and go to work. So they've started out with innovation just in the box design. They've done a couple of other things on the inside, and that is, not only is everything deeply marked, so you can easily read what's in here, should you be looking for it that way, but also you can get the stuff out without, you know, using a pry bar. And some of these are, you know, you need pliers or a pry bar to pop stuff free. They have thought this through, even to the point where, well, I'll get to it when I get there, but you can tell that somebody has used this and then said, you know what we need to do? We need to modify something here. So let's take a look at it. I've got some sockets here on the front end. These run from 3/8 down to 3/32. And then there is this. This is a 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter bit holder. So Klein is sticking with the 3.5 millimeter bits. And the more I think about it, you know, they've got both 1/4 and 3.5. Well, 4 is the one missing. That's pretty common. As they get better and, you know, and more tool options for the 3.5 millimeter, who knows what they're going to have in the future. You know, I guess 3.5 is the new orange, is the new black. Anyway, so 3.5, that's fine. What do we have for a driver here? We have got a handle, nice smooth spinning tail cap here with interchangeable shanks, and this is a 1/4 inch shank, and for 1/4 inch bits we've got some SAE or fractional hexes, Phillips slotted, some security torques, some squares, and some of these double tops. This is actually, for most things, plenty. And I know you're asking, is the one that I really need in here? Yes, it is, and I'll show you. But anyway, so I've got a 1/4 inch driver here, and the shafts easily pop in and out or set at different sizes by the operation of this little wheel here. This is just a spinny, doesn't really connect or doesn't drive anything, it just releases, which is fine. So your options here are a 3.5 millimeter driver or the 1/4 inch. You drop bits in these, magnetically held, and you could swap these back and forth, or of course if you wanted 2 bits, which I kind of like, and you want to swap them back and forth, and sometimes, depending on the job, that's what you're doing, you could easily double up on the bits. Now, is the one I want there? Yeah, it's right here. You can go to an iPhone, drop it in, while iPhones still do this, and you can see that screw is just coming out fine. So, I'm happy. Going back to the handle here, does it ratchet? No. Now, Klein has really upped their ratcheting game. Here's one This is a new tool they've got. This is called the Impact 11-in-1 Ratchet. Silky smooth. It's kind of a unique design. Here's the rotating collar. And then it's got this giant shaft full of different parts. And those parts not only work here, but you can also pop them out and use your impact drill as well. Silky smooth, very little back drag. I'll cover that in a future video. But since Klein has worked with all kinds of different handles, and sometimes I say, well, why don't they experiment with other shapes and designs? Well, what they're doing is they're dialing this in. You know, and I don't know anyone who complains about the Klein handles. It's so elegant, so simple, but it's so effective, and that's what we like. Now, speaking of ratchets, I had a Snap-on micro-bit ratchet set, and I hated it. I gave it away. I didn't like it. Why? Because, well, two things. One is, many times when you're using the micro bits, you're kind of building up a relationship with the material that you're working with, whether you're screwing it into soft metal, it could be even wood, but it's generally a plastic or metal. And if it's not a soft metal, it's a very thin metal. And as you're working with it, you want to feel how the material is reacting. And as that material, you know, fights back against that screw or accepts the screw in a little bit deeper and deeper, but what you don't want to do is not be able to back it off or to feel, you know, kind of the friction versus the tightening, and they're two different things. So I didn't like that the Snap-on ratcheting one only had ratchet in, ratchet out. It's the same problem I have with this Vera and the Vera screwdriver part or version that people really like. And that is, it's either in or you switch the lever and it's out. So you can't get that little locked feeling because there's no lock on this. So anyway, I don't mind that, and it spins plenty fast. And also you can adjust the length more to your need if you're guiding it in or need clearance. That's great. So I don't mind no ratcheting. I think it's great there's no ratcheting, actually. So another thing I noticed is the way they designed this box is that this stuff fits in here. Notice I've got junk down underneath, which you often do, and that can be your Klein stuff or other stuff. It just fits in there. But if you notice all of these little teeth here, I can drop this one in, and this snaps down, and it's easy to pop out. No problem there. But if I switch this, I can easily pop in the 1/4-inch drive now, and then I can drop that right back in, and now this one here fits in as well on a new set of teeth. So that's what I mean by somebody used this. They actually made or fixed stuff or worked with stuff and then realized that that was going to happen. You don't want to have to disassemble the tool in order to fit it back in the box. Comes with a ratchet. This is brilliant. Couple of ways. One is the number of teeth. I can't tell for sure. I think it's around 70. It's probably available online. There's some information, but anyway, this holds the 32787, which is the number of this kit. It's also up here, but kind of really hard to read. This one here was the 32717, easy to read. Anyway, when you put a bit in here, there's active retention. It's in there pretty snug, and if you had oily hands or didn't have very good grip, it might be tough to get that out. And sometimes, we use pliers to pull out bits and cases and pull them out of these. Well, if you look at that, that's the back of the bit. So I can just push on that and pop it free. You see that? It's a nice hole, excellent design. They didn't have to do that. It did give them a little more clearance since they're using the back of the bit as part of the push area. And if you're pushing down and the bit's engaged, it's not going to loosen. But silky smooth, reverse lever there. And when you want it out, you can just start the release and then it pops free. So again, somebody was thinking. As far as the size of this and the shape, it's kind of cool. Looks like a little coffin maybe. But it's designed very well. I like it. I'm impressed. Anyway, not to make this too long, Klein has just been really doing great stuff. And now they've got the mod boxes, they've got new precision drivers with innovations, and they got a whole bunch more stuff I'll get to. And with that, Doc out.